Desmond here from Performance Destination. If you're looking to have your car tuned, whether it's on the dyno or remote, reach out to us and see what we can do for you. We meet the needs on all computer systems. Customer recently just purchased this car, want to come in for a retune, and said he had some cold start issues, some idle issues. Car wouldn't fire up properly, wouldn't idle properly, idle too low. So just kind of seeing how he was set up beforehand and seeing, and when before I upload the new file for his car, the injector settings wasn't set correctly, so he has ID 1700s. So the information's already out there for setting the correct injector dead times. The map he came in on, like, nothing was set up wrong. As soon as I could tell people all the time, as soon as the injector settings are wrong, the whole entire tune and the whole entire map goes out the window. Now from the cold start he had before, car wouldn't fire over at all. Now on cold start on the new map I created, uploaded for him, start up like a peach. So let's test it out. All right. Cold start. It has a sticky ignition switch, so I'm gonna have to probably click it a few times. I hate these things. I hope some y'all have a sticky ignition switch. I hope some of y'all could get this fixed before coming in to get tuned, because this is annoying. Because I got to turn this car off every single time. I got to flash it. So every single time, if I have this problem, it's super annoying. Finally. Still cold. Like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. It's firing over a lot quicker. Perfect. Those fuel trims down best I can. Right. Yeah, looks good, looks good. I don't jam on it too hard, so I kind of run it on gate pressure, because your pump gas map is not to be like, oh yeah, you're gonna be out there like trying to race on low fuel or things like that. So your pump gas is, if there's no E85 in the area, or there's bad E85, or you go to a gas station and they don't offer E85, then you'll switch over the maps and you'll run the pump gas 93. So it's considered like commuting in a way. But it's still going to tune it all the way straight through, but it's still for commuting. But on the E85 map, that's where I would turn it up and I'll start making numbers on that. But on pump gas, it's on wastegate, so wastegate spring needs whatever boost it is on the gate or that spring, whatever the max power I can get out of that. So without trying to give it more power, more boost control on the pump gas. So just so you understand how that also operates. And then when I switch over to the E85, and then I'm gonna really start trying to make it work, and try to make power, try to make make the number. Give a number in mind where you want to be at.
No matter, whatever you can get to.
Okay. What's the fastest car you've been in?
Probably my boss's GTR.
GTR?
Yeah,
okay.
GTR.
Like, I had to ask that just so I know what the.
Or I've been in a Lamborghini Aventador.
What was the fastest car you drove?
Not Aventador, that.
Okay. I like to. That's different.
Yeah,
that's control. That's control power.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah, those cars go fast enough. Feel control.
Yeah.
And these cars get it when it makes a lot of power. So we'll see what it do. And on the E85, I'll turn it up, but the pump gas is going to be more just standard boost, nothing crazy. The coolest dyno fan ever. So I'm using my hub dyno fan on my all-wheel drive dyno setup, and literally this fan is so powerful. If you let it run too long on the car, it brings it back to like near, not exactly, but very close to near cold start settings. This thing is so strong.
Give it a thumbs up.
So what's happening is I'm seeing the fuel trims. It'll go to like 1, 2, like negative 1, 2, and then it will start counting up to like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, retrip. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's retripping. Because when it starts retripping like that, that means it's either the sensor is kind of getting faulty, or this is not all front, on these cars, not all front O2 sensors are the same. So a lot of people, they be like, oh, I just went to like O'Reilly's or AutoZone and got like a Bosch sensor or a regular
I'll
sensor.
probably get it off of STM too, and that's where they got everything.
STM map, they have it there, but they also have the part number on their website, and you can take that part number and go to the local parts store and get it that way too. But the thing is, when it's tripping like that, it's reading.
So that's why you talking about it be dropping off at the end. That's the reason.
No.
Oh,
No, this is for drivability wide. See, so once I go wide open, like the fuel trims, they don't matter.
Okay.
It's for like idle, cruising, part throttle.
Oh, so that's why I got a high idle.
No, you had a weird idle before
Which fixed?
because the injectors you have are ID 1700s, and the settings, whoever tuned this before never had the settings for ID 1700.
Okay.
So they had different settings in here. So like now, like I get in this thing, I reach over, fires right up catch, whatever like that.
That's how weird.
Try to zip it out. You know?
That's the fun of it.
And it goes right to a perfect idle. But the thing is, the fuel trims are tripping. They're tripping and stuff like that. And I don't want it tripping. I like to stay consistent. So either you have the wrong front O2 sensor in here, or a bad one. So it's a Denso sensor. It's a Denso. I think it's DBNSO. Denso. But I don't know. I can't remember the part number off the top of my head. So you can pull it up on from STM. Yeah, just get it from the search for it. Yeah, I don't want you to ask somebody and they give you the wrong one and go, oh yeah, just get any sensor. It's a problem. No, it's not the same. They measure differently.
Right.
So that right there, overall, like it started breaking up a lot. Like as you can see, the power band looks way cleaner right now than it did like on the earlier runs when it was leaning out, way cleaner this run.
No, yeah, that's what my little brother he was telling me. He was fucking when he would press and go all the way, it'd break up towards the end, and you would feel it.
Oh no, it ain't doing that now. So I'm gonna make some more adjustments. 'Cause I want to fine tune it, and I'm gonna double check the drivability to make sure it feels like a normal car. I don't want this thing like putting around and like like all wide open. Like I want you to drive it like it's going to the store, going to the mall, going to hang out, or whenever it's time for you to sell this thing, it feels comfortable for the next person who's gonna drive it. So the drivability is what makes the sale of the car. Nobody buys a ap because like, oh man, I made that much horsepower. Like, let me see how it drives. Let me see the condition of it. So let me just finish off with that, and then go unload it and see how you bang gears on this one.
Oh shit, it's gonna be.
Good. I'm gonna look brand new.
Yeah.
Finished it right at the 723. It's an FP0. When I say like everybody who knows FP0 makes power, they make power. FP0, I've seen people make more more horsepower in FP0, you know? But seeing how, that's why in the beginning I asked you, you know, what's the fastest car you've ever been in? How fast have you as a driver own a car? Because it can quickly go from a fast car to a dangerous car. You know what I'm saying? So that's why at this power level, I'm gonna leave it right here. And this is a lot of horsepower for, not to say, but for a beginner, entry level, like, you know, driver. So like, it's gonna feel really, really good. Power band comes on nice. The torque, like, that's what you're really gonna feel the most. You're gonna feel this torque. It's gonna, like, I can hear it. I can feel it. The back end squats down so hard, and then when I let off, it just jumps up. So I know this thing is gonna make some power. It did good. I had a lot of bugs between that lean condition up top. Like, I was trying to figure out what was going on with that. The problem that you said that you came in on before, you said like any wide open, it was breaking up. It's not breaking up anymore. Obviously, you can hear that, but it's pulling clean all the way straight through. It's really nice. This was around, like, the pump gas around 25 pounds ish kind of thing, and this was like about 40-ish pounds. Because you said, yo, whatever it can take, whatever it can handle. Now, you got a decent fuel system, but I feel like if you want more power than this, then you're gonna need to upgrade the injectors. I'm pretty sure you have a double pumper on this, right? Like 2 pumps, or you don't got the details on that?
Let me tell you, don't got the details. I'm waiting for him to give me the full mods list, to be honest with you.
That's another thing. So the mods list, so since you bought this car, and I don't even know the full condition. I know what turbo it's on. I know from you telling me it's a built motor, and then I know what injectors is on. I'm able to work off of that. But
that's not a lot of information.
Yeah, it's not a lot of information. I don't know what cams, in a way, like what size cams or anything like that. I don't know what compression piston. I don't know what rod bolt size you have, because they make a few different rod bolt size for different strengths. Or even not even that, but even what kind of rod you have. Because you might have what they call an H-beam rod. It's a more entry-level build rod, not designed for like crazy power. Or you might have an I-beam rod, I don't know. But it's just depending on the rods you have in the bottom end, depending on the power I put on it. So I don't want to make any more because there's too many like unanswered questions there. But overall, like it's clean. It pulls clean. It's pulled nice and healthy. You're gonna love it. You know, you're gonna take it back home to your family. Your family gonna love it. So like, yeah, it's gonna feel good. You know, this is gonna be something to play with, but at the same time, kind of get used to it. So in the meantime, if you wanted to, just to like kind of get a feeler for it, where it's not making too much power, too much boost, you could disconnect the boost controller and run wastegate on the E85, which will only be 25 pounds. I think what your gate pressure was like 25, 26 pounds. And get used to it on low boost. Don't just hop in this thing and you got, what they always say is you have to respect the horsepower. You know, because don't hop in that thing like, oh yeah, I can handle this. I had a young kid I did this for, and he went full blast and he never handled it. It came from a Focus, a front wheel drive Focus that made, he said 290 or 3 something, and he couldn't control it and he wrapped it around the tree. Yeah. So to start off, you can I'll show you can disconnect the boost controller, and once you kind of get a feel for that, you get used to it driving around. Yeah. Okay, you're still also trying to learn how to drive stick.
100%.
This is your first time you've been driving a stick shift car, so you just started learning how to drive stick. So like, just do it with like a low boost, and then after you get used to it, you know, plug it in, and you can kind of don't have to always go to red line right away, but you can just kind of play around with it. I have your red line set around like right around 8100.
All right.
But you don't have to go to 8100 to shift. You can shift that 6 if you want. You can shift that 7, 75 if you want. You know, the extra RPM is there. Like, say if you are racing somebody in 3rd or 4th gear, and you don't want to shift, and you want to stay in that gear, so that extra RPM, is going to give you that little bit more gear, since you don't have to go shift and then you lose. But overall, I think it's solid. So we're gonna unhook it and go for a little test drive and see what it feels like. Perfect. All right, bro. braked it and it didn't do nothing. You need to get new brakes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do all that shit. I'm gonna get it all done. All right. All right, man, so we just finished this car. We did 2 fuels, 93 and 85. You just bought this car, so tell me how it ran before and what it's running like now.
Breaking up, never felt right. Starting, it's always an issue. And it was not at those numbers before.
Right, so what does it feel like now, the difference of what you feel like after this car got retuned?
I feel like a certified race car.
All right, so how did it feel when we went for that pull just now?
Oh, it was sexy.
Yeah.
I loved it, every second of it.
Right, and the drivability was there too?
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. All right, man, so I appreciate you coming through, man. Getting this finished up. You made some good power, bro, I'm not gonna lie. And then just enjoy this thing now, bro.
You know it.
All right, man. This is Desmond Pierre back again with another car, another session, another new car adding to the fleet. Customer came from Naples. He just recently purchased this car. He always told me when I got this car, I go wide open, it breaks up, and I can never rip all the way straight through, it breaks up. I'm like, okay, well, just tell me. I told him a couple steps he needs to do. Check over this, check over that. A couple pre-dyno stuff I always have customers check over. By the time he got here, before I uploaded the new tune to it, I kind of went over his previous tune with him, and the injector settings were wrong. So that right there throws the whole tune out of whack. I can see why it might be breaking up, or his cold start had it would crank, it won't fire, it went idle, and then when it did fire, and then when it did idle, after it got the temperature, it was still kind of rich. It was off on the AFRs and the fuel trims. So I told him, like, hey bro, we're just gonna start from clean slate, upload this file, made 1 or 2 revisions, fire it over, boom, car caught idle, car strictly went up to the AFR target where I wanted it at, fuel trims were right within range of the spec or how I wanted to be ran at, and the car ran great. You know, the car performed. So we want to do 2 fuels today. So we did pump gas, pump 93, and then pump E85. On 93, we finished him right at 542, 478 foot-pounds of torque. It tried to make more at first on pump gas, and I had to kind of slow it down because I didn't want this to run at max effort, because I already knew we were gonna go to E85 and turn it up. So I kind of slowed it down a lot on the pump gas, and I figured let me just keep it really tame on the pump. We went on gate pressure, right around 26-25 pounds of boost on the FP0, and like this car rips. I knew by what it made on pump and how the power band looked. I know when I go to E85 and I work that boost controller, I knew it was going to turn on. Drivability was clean, idle, cruising wide open, everything was flawless on the drivability on the pump gas. Swap over to E85, drain all the 93 out of it, put the E in it, did some revisions to try to get it, because at first on the E85 it kept on leaning out. Like this thing wanted so much fuel up top, like so much fuel, and I don't doubt it. This car was making some power today, but I had to run so much fuel so this car can rip clean all the way straight through. And then when I got it to a good AFR, I think it was like 11.2 or 11.3 on the full run, and then it made 723 and horsepower and 620 foot-pounds of torque. Remember, this is a FP0, the biggest FP. They make a bigger one. I think it's a Super 99, but the FP0 is a big frame, big turbo. It's a 62 millimeter turbo. This car worked phenomenally today. And this is on E85, obviously, but this car worked so hard, worked so good. It took a while to get it ironed out because at first I thought the car was dropping fuel pressure the way it kept on leaning out up top. Like, then I set it up with my tripod camera, put it on the regulator to gauge so I can make a run and kind of see how the fuel pressure builds, and it built perfectly fine. Never fell back the opposite way to drop fuel pressure. It built perfectly fine. So I already knew I had to keep going back into the tune and keep revising it. And as soon as I did, I gave it the right amount of fuel it needed, and I made another run, and it kept it right at the target where I wanted it at. It pulled all the way clean. This is a very clean graph. This is a very clean power band. This is a very clean shape of the curve, how I do it. So I always tune it to the shape of the curve, because when he gets, so when we go full, like wide open flooring it, the power just stands up and it takes off and it just keeps going. Now the cams is a little bit more unknown. Like I said, he just recently purchased this car, younger owner, just got an Evo. It's his first car he driving stick shift. He just started learning to drive stick shift on this car just a few weeks ago. So a lot of things he needs to go over, a lot of things he didn't know the car had, but I already told him, like, hey, you have these injectors, you have this pump, you have this turbo, this. Everything else, what I could be able to explain without trying to dive in and rip apart the motor to see what else is there. But this is a good base for him. You know, I told him, you know, you're starting off learning how to drive stick at this power level might be too much. So you may want to disconnect the boost controller, run it on gate pressure, get familiar with it, because we went out on the street. I drove it for him because, you know, he wanted me to. He's a little bit more comfortable with me driving it. And literally, I floored this thing, and it fishtailed so hard when I hit that brake. It squatted down and moved so hard. I threw the next gear, and it just threw us both back in the seats, and just pulling so hard. I told him, my bro, you gonna have to take it easy, because this feels crazy. This feels nuts on the street. It pulled so hard, it's so healthy, no breakup, no cut, no nothing. I felt all of this power band, all of this torque, all of the horsepower. It was a good day. He was happy. We loaded it back on the trailer. He's heading back home. He got like a 3.5 hour drive home, and he's happy with it. I'm happy that he's happy. I'm all here about getting the needs of my customer. And the thing is, it made this power, and the drivability was still peach. Idle, cruising, AFR, fuel trims, everything was still peach. But when I put it in 4th gear and I whacked on it, or 3rd gear, whatever gear I want to be on the street, or whatever, it went right to the target AFR where I wanted it at, and the power just came on. I came back, I put it in neutral, clutched it in, brought it back quickly to idle, and it went right back to a perfect AFR idle. Perfect, never died out, never stalled, never broke up, never nothing. And he was so happy, because this is opposite of what the car felt like when he bought the car. I'm just happy that I was able to do this for him. If you too would like to work with me just like how he did, give us a call at 941-268-7493, or you can reach us on all platforms and social media at Performance Destination. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.